Alo de Winter and Michael Fazio have been in constant communication over the last 10 days or so, setting up a trip for Alo de Winter and two other European men who are all PADI certified scuba divers to go meet in Cebu. They are apparently those men are already in Cebu Central, near the IT park, near the Ayala Mall, and they've been there for a few days now. So next week, early. Today is today's Tuesday, honey. What's today? Tuesday or
Yeah, Tuesday.
Tuesday? So probably sometime over the weekend we'll meet with those men, and then we will go to Oslo, and I'll give you the prices for the whale shark diving. I have that up on the board. Let me put my glasses on. No longer are you allowed to go scuba diving with them on this website. So, but the prices, if you want to go whale shark diving, the option that you could go swimming with a life jacket is no longer available. So now it's snorkeling with the whale plus life jacket. So basically, what they're telling you is that no longer can you go underwater with the whale sharks. That is for Filipino tourists, 1,000 pesos, 21 US dollars. For foreign tourists, snorkeling with the whale plus a life jacket is 2,000 pesos or $42. And the activity is limited to 30 minutes. So there used to be tours where you could wear a set of tanks, but no longer do I see that. So this is a picture of the of typical. This is like a 6 to 10 person bunker boat. Again, 6 to 10 people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 or so people. So the whale sharks are upwards of 20 plus feet. These are. Depends on the time of the year. It depends on their feeding habits. But they're always outside in this one general area, outside a place called Oslo. And I'm going to put the link for that in the description box right now. So I'm going to cut that link out, and then so if you want to go to snorkel with the whale sharks, then this is the link that you can go to for the shop that I researched. But I'm not done researching yet, but that's the link. Okay. Okay, let me get this. Oh, what did I do? I didn't copy that link. I didn't copy the link. Okay, it's up to you. Init? Hangin? Okay. We're going to go to the beach in a little while anyway. So, this is the link for the whale sharks. Now, what Aloe, the great Aloe de Winter, and I and the other two men have planned is well, they're not, I have my hesitant points to go see them because it's not part of their natural habitat. Now, I've been able to go on this trip for 7 years because I live right here. Actually, before the lockdown, there was a boat that left maybe 10 minutes away from my house. That boat went to Cebu, to the whale sharks. So you would be on that bunker boat for approximately 2 hours but it would only be a 10 or 12 minute ride from my house to the bunker boat. But then you'd be on the boat for 2 hours. This way, I have to go an hour to the city, wait an hour to buy the tickets for the ferry, 2 hours on the ferry, and then 4 hours of traveling down to the whale sharks, and of course get a hotel room. So this way, if you left your house at 5 o'clock in the morning, you got on a 7 o'clock ferry, you'd be there at 9. You might be at the whale sharks you'd be in Cebu at 9 o'clock. You might be there by 11 or 12 o'clock in the afternoon, depending on traffic. So the boat that used to leave from Bohol, I don't see that option anymore, but it doesn't matter, because Alo and I and the other men, we want to go to a few different places in Cebu. Yeah, I'll give you the itinerary exactly. In other words, if I got up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go to see the whale sharks, the first ferry leaves at 6:20. Maybe you'd have to get up at 4:30 to grab the 6:20 ferry. It's still a 2-hour trip, but you got to get there half an hour early. So theoretically, you get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. You leave the house at 5 there's a 5:15 jeepney, or you take a tricycle. You get to the city at 6. At 6 o'clock, you have to take a tricycle to the ferry at 6:20. You're really pushing it. So you'd really have to take a tricycle all the way to the city. That would be about 400 pesos. So at 4 o'clock, you wake up. At 5 o'clock, you get on a private tricycle for 400 pesos. It brings you directly to the dock. At the dock, you'll be there at 5:30. You buy a ticket. You wait till 6:20. You get on the 6:20 ferry. You go 2 hours and 10 minutes to the port of Cebu. So 6:30, 6:20, 7:20, 8:20. By the time you get to the commercial area to grab a cab or a tricycle, a cab to go down to Oslo, you're 10 minutes off the boat. So now it's 8:30 plus, say 8:45, and then it's 2 hours to get to Oslo. So you would be there at 11 o'clock, 11:30, and then you'd have to go in the afternoon or grab a hotel to get a morning trip. So it's a solid 7 hours, 8 hours of traveling if there's no complications, no rain, no storm. The problem with doing it like that, and it is a problem, if bad weather comes, the ferries are just shut down. I mean, you could have a storm overnight and the ferries are just shut down. You go there for nothing. To go to a website, look at me. The websites for the ferries, the time schedules, and the phone numbers date back to 2010, 2008. They don't take the old ferry schedules or phone numbers off. So if you do go to pick up a ferry schedule online, you got to make sure that it's a current listing. You can call up 10, 12 numbers before you realize that these are old listings. They go back 14 years, some of the phone numbers and websites. They don't take them off. I don't know why. And yet they all say Port of Bohol, Port of Cebu. They all say where they were from originally. So That's something you really have to pay attention to when you're researching something in the Philippines. You need to go to the website and then look to make sure it's a current update. In other words, a current phone number, forget about emailing anybody in the Philippines. I don't care. You could tell somebody that rents apartments at the IT park in central Cebu City proper, then the apartments are, I don't know, $500 a week. Chances are you could send out 30 or 40 emails and get only one response. People in the Philippines don't respond to emails because 90% of the emails are from people in another country that aren't here yet, number one. Number two, 90% of the emails are from people that are not going to come when they say they're going to come. They just don't respond to emails. When I wanted an apartment in the Philippines, I sent out 100 requests for apartments, and I think 2 or 3 people got back to me. I wanted a beachfront apartment in Bohol, and maybe 2 or 3 people got back to me. And that's it, out of 100 requests. They were form letter requests. They were standard, I copy and paste requests. But it didn't matter. You send out 100 requests to 100 different rental agencies. You get 2 responses back. One of them is that they're booked, and the other one is that, the price has changed or it's not available when you want it. Just don't even bother with emails. Phone calls is the only way. So, my point is that if you go to a schedule for, and I did this just this morning. I went to a schedule for the ferries. It doesn't work out like that. You really, if you go to the dock, there's you go to the office. You also need. It's really good if you bring your passport. I have my driver's license, which is current for another year and a half, another year and a month actually. It expires next year. I have an ACR card, which is current. I have a passport that's current. Now you need to have also, to get onto the ferry, vaccination certificate, which of course I have, and that's it. You need a vaccination certificate. And you used to need something else. There was another thing. The service fees. Or they have service fees that you're not. Well, the prices, in that regards, the prices of the ferries, I think it went up to 900 pesos from 600. So it's 50% more than what it was, but that was 2 years ago. So the service fees for the room rentals and things like that, yeah, they have almost everything now in the Philippines has a 12% VAT tax that they don't tell you about when you're buying the item. And you won't know until you buy the item whether it has a VAT tax on it. Like food now has a VAT tax on water. There used to be a VAT tax on soda. That's still in effect. But there was not a VAT tax on water a year ago. Now there's a VAT tax on water. And there's a VAT tax on certain meat, where there was never, it was a food item, there was no VAT tax. Now, food items are VAT taxed mostly, not all. Cookies, candy, potato chips, popcorn, snacks, soda, juices, all VAT tax, everything. But it used to be no VAT tax on meat. So they have all kinds of stuff that they're charging you for now. There's VAT tax on your airplane ticket. There's VAT tax on everything, just basically everything. And they're just, that's that. And it was 10% Remember, VAT tax was always 10%, easy to figure out. Now it's 12%. No longer is it 10%. So the nickel and diamond, you 1 or 2%. Oh, and any fast food is VAT taxed. Every fast food, everywhere, is VAT tax. In Manila, it was 12% VAT tax for a Burger King, which we went over. I would never buy another. And for the rest of my life, which I probably only have to go back to America one more time to do something, for the rest of my life, I will probably never buy another Burger King. Certainly, I will never buy a Burger King in the Philippines because, number one, they're not flame broiled on the spot like they used to be. They're cooked that morning, last night, yesterday afternoon. They're put in a tray at room temperature, ambient air temperature, and they take them out of the tray. They throw a couple of slices of cheese on them. They take the roll and put it in the microwave, and they microwave it for 40 seconds, and they nuke it at a high energy rate. But now Burger King has a new trick. I ordered a 4 cheese melt burger, and it was as if someone took some grating cheese and just took a pinch, like you'd put on a slice of pizza, and just pinched, or like pepper, and just, you could see white speckles on the hamburger. And I said to the lady, "Where's the cheese? I bought it. I paid for a 4 cheese melt. Where's the cheese?" And she showed me the cheese is the white speckles. It's not cheese, 4 cheeses like dripping off. The picture shows it's dripping off, but that's a subject for another day. So the Oslo trip is on. Aloe is Patty certified. I am NAUI certified, which is still valid. My certification from 1981 with my original NAUI certification card is still valid to this day. They have a book online that they'll look up my card number. I've never had a problem diving anywhere in the Philippines or anywhere in the world that I've gone, which is only the Caribbean, the British West Indies, and the Dutch West Indies. But I never had a problem. So my validation for scuba diving, if we decide to go scuba diving, is valid. But it looks like they want you to wear a life jacket so you can't go underwater and disturb the whale sharks underwater. I don't know. I don't really care that much about it. The idea is to get with Al and his friends and to party in Cebu. And we have I've been to many places in Cebu proper. Daisy's going to stay here, and I'm going to go, of course I'm going to videotape it, but I'm going to be going to Cebu to see a few friends. We're going to go visit some people that I once knew that actually live in Cebu now, a retired police officer, if he's available, and his wife and baby, and another friend of mine that used to live in Bohol, who moved to Cebu proper for his reasoning to move to Cebu was so that he could do shopping, because there are lots of malls and lots of restaurants in Cebu. So he moved from California to the Philippines, to Cebu, to Bohol, and then realized that the Bohol does not have shopping malls and great food eateries, and now he moved back to Cebu because they have, like, one place that I definitely want to go to is 101. It's an all-you-can-eat buffet. It was 786 pesos, 101. I want to go there. I want to visit some long-term friends of mine, very long-term, 6-7 years I've been friends with them. The person who helped me out with my lease agreement, I want to go visit them And but my buddy, he moved back to Cebu for the restaurants, and I said to him, why are you moving back to? Well, they have more restaurants and more malls. I'm going, so you moved all the way to the Philippines so that you could go to restaurants and the malls. Yes, that was his answer. And of course, to be with his girlfriend, who's really a sweetheart. I've known her. In fact, Daisy and I and the man and his girlfriend have many videos of us Zumba dancing. Not me and him. We're not Zumba material, but the girls are. So we've been friends for multiple years. So, and then we have, of course, other friends. Aloe has friends, and I have friends. We're going to spend a week touring Cebu. We may very well go up to the top end of Cebu and reconnoiter some of the beaches up there. And we also have, I'm not much into Boracay. I've heard about I live on a better beach right here, right behind my house is a nicer beach than Boracay. So I don't think that would interest me so much. But they want to see Boracay. And there's, if I remember the name of the place, there's a place in no time. I really don't think I want to bug a whale shark. But keep going. All right. Yeah. Well, they don't bite. They're plankton eaters. And Jimbo, hello Jimbo. Hi, no name, says Jimbo. Thanks for stopping by, Jimbo. Now, yeah, there's a place called the Nest in Boracay. I think it was the Nest. It's right on the side of a rock jetty. It's the apartments that you rent are right on a rock face. If those apartments in Boracay were available, I might be interested. I don't know. I'd have to see if they're available. Back in 2015, they were $45 a night. I have no idea what the prices are now. I think it was called the Nest, and I forgot which district it was in Boracay, but it's right like a rock face of straight up and down rock formation of coral. And then somehow they attached rooms to the rock face, and from the rock face, you walk outside your little apartment, which is very small, onto a deck. You can just jump right in the water from your deck, right on the rock face. No beach, just deep water, rock face diving, so you could jump off. I think that'd make a cool place to do some, of course there's going to be drone. We're going to drone each place that we go. We're going to do some drone videos. In fact, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get ready to go outside. Daisy and I have not still figured out how to go live stream on the drone. I don't know why. We followed the instructions on 2 different videos for a very, very long time. A very long time. 6 hours. The both of us we punched in the codes by hand, and we punched in the codes on the computer. We couldn't get it to work. And then we got a message saying that you have to start a Microsoft account for the cloud. So that was after working with the iPhone and the iPhone not wanting to talk to the computer. I should talk about the iPhone. The iPhone, it is probably a great gadget. It works the drone. You can't use the Mavic Air 2S without an iPhone 13, 13 Pro, or 13 Pro Max. You cannot use your $1,500 drone and accessories without an iPhone. But the phone doesn't want to talk to the Lenovo computer. So it'll appear, allow access to the phone to the computer, and you press allow. But it won't open up on the computer. You can't copy from the phone to the computer, I've not been able to copy or cut from the phone, put it on the computer. What I have to do is cut it, put it on an external drive, and then I can bring it to the computer, but I can't edit it without a computer program editing. On the iPhone, you can edit music and words, but the computer, when you want to cut it out of the iPhone, the computer fails to read the iPhone. So at that point, after you make the video and the words and splice it, you have to shut off the computer 1, 2, 3, or 4 times. Shut off the iPhone and restart the iPhone 1, 2, 3, or 4 times. And then on the third, second, or fourth time, when the iPhone says allow access from this external place, the computer, then it will, for 1 minute or 10 minutes or half an hour, it will allow you access to the iPhone to copy off the iPhone, but not into the computer. You can copy off the iPhone after you've made your video. Hello, Jack. Thanks for stopping by. You can copy off the iPhone, but you can't upload from the iPhone. It's not compatible like that. Not my computer is not compatible to the iPhone. So what it wants you to do is you copy it from the iPhone after you make it in the iPhone, and then bring it to your external drive. And then from the external drive, you can copy it to make a video out of it. Or, as No Time for Anybody says, buy a Mac. And I would be very, that was my next topic matter. What they want you to do is to buy a Mac computer to talk to your Apple phone. That's what they want. And that's only $4,000 or $5,000 for a decent Mac. So no time for anybody. It's your turn to shine. And shine you will. I will make 100 thank you videos if you buy me a Mac computer. Now there's also something else. I'm only kidding about that, of course. But there's also something else that can't be done. It's not possible to do. That it says you can do. It says you can live stream, which we never could get set up without a Mac computer. Because the Mac will talk. The Mac will talk to the phone. Apparently, because that's what it says online. But if you want to live stream with your Apple iPhone and you do buy a Mac computer, you still need a device. It looks like something like this. And this device is something that you put on a lanyard. It's on your chest. It's on your chest. Then from this device, a magnet microphone goes on the device. So it's hanging on your neck, and the magnet sticks to the device. And when the magnet hits the device, the microphone gets turned on, and you can talk during your live stream in real time. Because without this extra $300 or $400 or $500 device, which is also made by Apple or other products, without this device, when you're talking, it's not in real time. So you'd have a 5-second latency from what you see on the screen to what the drone is seeing. So you really got to be careful when you're far away. The latency is 5 seconds. But if you could figure out how to talk in live stream using somehow your drone and the Lenovo computer, there'd be an additional 5 to 7 seconds latency. So you could be 12 seconds off what you're seeing on the drone in real time, and then at that point your drone video, you might as well just put music on it. But the fix for all of that is to buy an external magnetic microphone made by Apple. Use the Apple iPhone and buy a Mac computer. So at this point, what you would look to invest into the drone would be $1,500 for the drone and some accessories, $1,300 plus for the phone. That's 15 and 15. That's $2,800. $400 for the microphone and for the good one. So figure $3,200, and then another $4,000 for the Mac computer, of course. So that'd be about $8,000. For under $8,000, you can operate your drone, your Mavic Air 2S drone. So no time for anybody. I don't think you're going to send me the money, but you would have, oh God, I would make 10 videos, 10 thank you videos. 12, I'll make it 11. Tell me you want 12 and I promise you 12. But it ain't going to happen. So I'm not buying a Mac computer. I looked at them. I'm not spending $3,000 for a Mac computer. But, you know, I'm not doing it. So the chances of you guys ever seeing me talk in real time to my drone, okay, Emily, the chances are basically zero. Basically zero. Zero. Yeah, maybe somebody knows. See that? You know, I just talked to Scott Del Fuego about an hour ago, saying that, well, if someone was sitting next to me showing me how to use the iPhone and my computer, it would be a lot easier. But it doesn't matter, because the computer, the phone will say, should I allow access to this external device? And you on the phone say, allow. And when you allow it, on the computer, in your sidebar, it says Apple iPhone. So when you allow it, the Apple iPhone name appears in the sidebar. Let me show it to you. This way, it's easier if I show it to you. So, hold on. So the Apple iPhone icon appears after. Okay, so I'm just gonna show you what's on the. So if after the phone says allow, somewhere over here it says Apple iPhone. Then you click that allow button. Well, you click the Apple iPhone. Then over here, it will show you the internal storage of the Apple iPhone. But, and this is a big but, even though the phone allowed you access, even though you see the phone over here, when it shows you the internal storage, theoretically, you should be able to double click the internal storage and open up the files in the internal storage. However, when you double click, it will say that these files no longer exist. So it's showing you that there are 15 gigabytes of files in the internal storage, but when you double click the internal storage, it says the files are no longer available. So that's the problem. It wouldn't make a difference if you were standing next to me, because it gave me permission to do what I want to do. It shows me the icons to do what I want to do, but when I click the icons to do what I want to do, it tells me that those files are no longer available. So whether you were standing here or not, I know how to get to what I want. But then even if I opened up those files, I can't copy them and paste them into my computer. I have to copy them from the internal drive after I shut the computer on and off and the phone on and off 4 times. Then I copy them from here, and then I go into my 4 terabyte and paste them. Then from the paste, okay, well, I believe you. I just don't believe you're here to help me. You can show me 2 ways of doing. I'm sure. That's what I said to Scott Del Fuego. If someone was here, they would be able to show me, and I'd be able to learn it. But right now, figuring it out on my own, I figured it out. It says open up the computer, allow internal storage. Internal storage, open it up, and it's not there. Now, is there another way to do that? I don't know. After shutting the only way to even get to that is to turn the computer on and off 4 times, and the phone on and off 4 times. At some point, it's almost as if there's a resistance. Now, I've cleaned out. Yeah, I'll meet with you. I have no problem meeting with you. If you're in Cebu, I'm going to be there next week. If you're in Bohol, I'll meet with you this afternoon. I have no problem with that. None at all. You could come here and show me how to work the phone. I'm not a paranoid individual like that. But yeah, I mean, I have no problem with that. Or I could bring the computer to a place where there's Wi-Fi if you felt more comfortable like that. But I anything at this point, anything that would help me get back, anything that would help me get online, because Daisy and I are all gung-ho on this, and next week I'm going to Cebu. And I really want to do live streaming from where I go. I want to live stream some of the places that I'm going to. It's what I said I would do if I could. And next week we're already into, today's the 13th, yeah? Yeah, 13th. Today's the 13th? 13th, yeah. I want to get there. I want to get to Cebu. I want to do something. So, yeah, that'd be cool. If you want to figure out how to get in touch with me, let's see. Go back into one of my old videos on this channel. I know who you are. I'm pretty sure. Okay, when you're in the Philippines. I'm pretty sure I know who you are. Yeah, when you get here, if you want to meet, I'll meet up with you. I told the guy 2 weeks ago he wanted to meet me. I said, I'll meet you at, he was in the Alona Beach area, and I'm not in the Alona Beach area, but I said, I'll meet you at McDonald's in Alona Beach. Yes, okay. Okay, you'll be there in a couple of weeks. That'll be great. So what the way to get in touch with me is simple. When you come to the Philippines, or before, you should have a Globe telephone number. Globe, I can call from my house, no charge, or text, no charge. But if you only have a smart, find an old video, either smart or Globe, for your phone number. Find an old video, something from 6 months ago, a year ago, and then leave me your Globe telephone number in some random comment on my Alpha Mail channel, and I'll see that, and then I'll call you up. It's better if you have a Globe number, because I have a landline that calls Globe, and there's no tracing the landline. Nobody will be able to, not that I care, because my phone number's been published several times already in the last few weeks, because I just don't care. If you want to call up my phone or text me a message, by all means, text me a message. But I don't want to give it out publicly. But I did have people send me no threats. Nobody's threatened me. I had somebody send me a link that was not YouTube friendly. I don't open up links. So whoever, and that person knows who they are. And I didn't open up the link because a dirty link will screw up your computer. So if it's not YouTube, if it's not a YouTube link, I don't open it up. If it's not a Google link, I don't open it up. So when they got my telephone number, no, I'm not going to, yeah, when they got my telephone number, they sent me 1, 2, 3 messages from 3 different telephone numbers, the same link. That's how I knew it was a dirty link. And I'm pretty sure I know who it was, because it's a troll name for a certain YouTuber that's been not the most liked person in the world. So, and it's been a long-term name on his channel. So it's one of his buddies or him that sent the dirty link, because that's just the type of guy they are. One day, I opened up a dirty link back in 2001, 2002 maybe, 2000, it was 20 years ago. And it took 3 days for Microsoft to clean up my computer. So I'll suggest to anybody out there, if you see a link and it doesn't say YouTube on it, don't open it up. I don't care. Phone might be easier to clean up your phone than a computer, but a computer could take 2 or 3 days of somebody working on your computer to get the virus out of your computer. And that's how long it took. And I'll tell you how long ago it was. It was when I was living in Florida. In my room, a Microsoft technician, this is a piece of information for you people. If you open up a dirty link, you are not going to clean up your computer. It ain't going to happen. So if you ever open up a dirty link and you see a smiley face, and then another smiley face, and then 10 smiley faces, then 20 smiley faces, then 100, and then just smiley faces everywhere, that's a virus. There's nothing that you can do or buy on the internet that will get rid of that virus. But there's a really simple solution. There's an 800 number for Microsoft. 800 numbers to Microsoft. You can call up Microsoft, talk to a technician. The technician is usually an IT guy in India that speaks perfect English. You can tell them what happened to your computer, and that no matter what, as soon as you turn your computer on, there's just 1,000 smiley faces. He'll tell you to turn on your computer and hit F8. I remember this, F8. Just hit F8 every half a second. F8, 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 F8. While you're on the phone with the guy. At some point, a screen will pop up asking you if you want to give control of your computer over to an outside source, which is the guy on the phone. And you'll say yes. Then he'll give you a piece of information, a code to put into your computer. He'll send it via email. Your email still works. Your computer does not. Then, at that point, he'll send you a text message on your phone or an email. You put the code in. It's just a simple 5-number code. It's not a long, drawn-out thing. And then you'll put the code in and say, okay, give control of my computer over to, I don't know, Scotty in India. And it's all above board. And he's a Microsoft. Now, he'll say to you, at that point, now you have a chat box open on the screen. And your chat box, he'll talk to you about some things. And you'll go to another window and give him full access to your computer. And now, if you have shit on your computer that you don't want anybody to see, Well, I don't know. I guess you can't do that, but my computer's clean. So I gave Scotty my codes and permissions, and Scotty took over. It says, do you agree to let Scotty take over your screen? You say, at any time, if he's going someplace you don't want him to go, if there's pictures or videos, you can just push a button to end Scotty's connection, but then you don't get your computer fixed. So you got to give Scotty full access, and they don't go any place they're not supposed to go. They just they stick with their DOS and their programs. So, but with me, I would leave the house in the morning at 8 o'clock and come back at 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon after I did a job, and he'd still be working on it. So in order for him to clean up my computer, it took 3 business days for him to clean up my computer. And each morning at 8 o'clock, we connected with one another, and each day he came on at 8 o'clock, and that was his job for the day. So you click a link, you're going to invest 3 days of your life to clean up your computer. Don't do it. So the guy, Nova, who sent me the dirty link, who's a friend of a certain blogger on YouTube, sent it to me under 3 different names. And of course, Nova is an anonymous person, and Nova should stay anonymous for all the aggravation that he's probably caused people. But of course, Nova thinks he's above all of that, and that's why he sent. Yeah, he's been a friend of a certain blogger for years. Nova. There's Nova something else. There's more to the name, but he sent me 3 dirty. I'm sure they were dirty links, and then in the meantime, he sent me many messages saying, "Hey, Mike, how you doing? Great uploads, great videos. I like that video. I like your new channel, blah, blah, blah." But then he still sent that dirty link. Now, I don't know that it was dirty. I never opened it up. But that's how they do. They give you the good guy, bad guy routine. Okay. Gonna go now. Allo and I have to do some talking, making sure, getting a hotel down in Obslab, and then we're going to get a hotel near the IT park, and then we're going to get a hotel up in North Cebu. But that we could probably get the day we arrived there. But I do know I want to be. Thank you. No time for anybody. Thank you. I do know I want to be in Cebu next week to visit 3 or 4 people to do some. Want to do the whale sharks. I want to do some diving, and I want to see some friends of mine that I have not seen. Honey, when was the last time you were here? Back in 2019, yeah? Yeah, I haven't seen them probably since. Hold on a minute. Hold on, I got to put you guys on hold. Yeah, I haven't seen my friends in Cebu since 2019. So that's going on 3 years. That's long enough. Those were good friends. They were very nice people. Very, very nice. I've known them. He's actually, the husband's been watching me for 10 years. And the wife is relatively new to this, 6 or 7 years she's been watching my videos. She still watches my videos. We just don't talk to each other on YouTube much because of the trolls. I don't mention who they are, or how I know them, and then they don't get trolled. And that makes it simple. Could you imagine that you have to think like this? That the mentality, the sickness of some of the people on YouTube, Gotta go. Okay, no time for anybody. Thanks for stopping by. The sickness that pervades this world, that you would have people that spend their entire life on YouTube just trolling people. That's their life. Imagine living life as a troll on YouTube. At the end of your days, at the end of time, where your time is expired, like that guy in the movie Rutger Hauer, when his time was up and he thought back on all the stuff he did. Imagine the last thoughts that went through your mind is, I spent the last 5 years, I spent the last 7 years in a closet trolling people on YouTube. Imagine, just as you expire, that's the last thought on your mind before you transition, if you transition, into the next world that you spent 7, 8, 9, 10 years, 20 years, 22 years, 24 years of your life trolling people on the internet. Imagine that being your last thought. Yes, sir. All right, with that, no time. Thanks for the conversation, and I look forward to meeting you. Everybody, bye-bye for now from Michael Fazio, and from Michael Fazio and Daisy May in the Philippines, baby. I'm Pink Permy, which of course means take care always. Bye-bye for now. Ah, man.